Hello everyone. Shout out to everyone who's wondering what is the opposite of in. Now that is out the way, I wanted to move into a team that I've been playing with today that is, well, it might seem familiar to some of you. And this is really dedicated to all the people who were quite grumpy at the fact that I brought out Bastiodon and a Razor Leafer a bit earlier in the season. We've got on the lead a Rock type, the Alolan Golem, we've got a Venusaur, and we've got an Exeggcutor, Rock Double Grass. It's a classic and I thought you might enjoy it. I'm just going to hop into the matches straight away here because we've got some fun footage for you. We're leading with Wild Charge and Rock Blast because whilst we have Stone Edge, which is a better move, Rock Blast is cheaper and better for baiting. Wild Charge hits like a truck though, so we do have to be cautious with it. So we lead into a Dragonite. This is a decent lead for us. It is neutral to the electric because the Dragon and Flying cancel out, but the Rock Blasts are super effective. This is not a Bastiodon, so as you can see we're about to take a Dragon Claw, and look at that, it takes a big chunk off us. You can't tank as easily with this. However, the Rock Blast in return will be super effective against the squishy Shadow Dragon, so we're just going to go straight into that, and it's going to take us down with the Dragon Breaths. Ouch. Still, we're going to move into the Exeggcutor because this will also hit for neutral with the psychic damage, which is the other reason we brought Exeggcutor over one of the other poison grass types. We've got the confusion damage there, and well, there we go, it takes chunks out of the Dragonite, takes it down, got a nice energy lead there. So, into our next up is Gyarados. So again, grass type is not going to like taking a Psychic. We use Psychic because it's neutral, and so is Seed Bomb, and Psychic hits a little bit harder. And if we're lucky we'll get to a Seed Bomb as well, not quite. A bit of an overtap there I think, but still. We take out Gyarados, and we've got a Machamp in the back, which we resist as well. So we've got the poison typing resisting their fighting damage. Their rock slides will still hurt us, so we're just going to get in the bait, and it's a cross chop, so you can see that doesn't hit very hard. We do still have to watch out for the rock slides, they do still hurt, so we're probably going to shield the next one. But as you can see, Frenzy Plant in return, just taking it apart. I think they're low enough health now that we don't actually need to bother with another Frenzy Plant even. We'll just shield their rock slide and peck them away with Fine Whips. There we go. They were inevitably going to shield, and we didn't have 2 moves worth, so there's no point using it just then. Next up, we're going to lead into what we've got. Golem leading into a Muck. So kind of a neutral matchup. Their Dark type will do us neutral. Our Wild Charges and our Rocks will do them neutral in return. However, because it's Poison type, we don't really want to switch out for one of the grasses, so we're going to shield here. Incoming Dark Pulse, we're just going to build up a big chunk of energy. As you can see, the Rock Blast charges very quickly, and we're just going to go straight into the Wild Charges and see if they'll take the bait. And assume, okay, so they don't let the Wild Charge through, but we'll throw another one, and we're going to have to shield because we've just debuffed ourselves, and the incoming move is going to hurt a lot more. So we're going to throw the other Wild Charge, and now we're in a bit of a sticky position because we still don't want to switch, and we probably should have baited properly, but never mind. In hindsight, that was wonderful. They've taken their health down, so we're switching the Exeggcutor because even against the Dark type that's going to do a reasonable amount because the Poison and Dark cancel out a little bit. It still does resist Psychic though. So the Machamp's going to throw at us, and Rock Slide hurts, but the counter damage doesn't, so we're going to throw a Seed Bomb in return because we don't really need the super effective Psychic, it's a bit overkill at this point. And out comes the Muck again, and we're just going to farm it down with Confusion, which is single resists. And Gyarados comes out, doesn't quite get to the charge move, a Psychic would have taken a big chunk off it. However, we do still have the electric type waiting for them, so this is bad news for them, but the water damage it's throwing in return is also bad news for us. As you can see, an Aquatail does a huge amount to us, and we just about make a wild charge, but not quite, before they take us out. So even against something we're really very powerful against, it's not that stunning. But the Venusaur does finish the job, so that's all okay. Next up we're leading into Venusaur. So this is a bad matchup for us because it resists electric, and so we just switch immediately to Exeggcutor. The psychic damage will be a thing that they can't really afford to ignore. However, the Sludge Bomb they're throwing at us is also a thing we can't afford to ignore. So we're trading shots here. However, Gallade comes out. Now if you've run into Gallade a lot and it's starting to annoy you, this is actually probably one of the better counters out there because we're doing neutral with all our moves, and we're resisting every single one of their moves. So that's actually quite a strong matchup for us. Their Leaf Blade resist, as you can see, and we're just going to carry on nibbling away with Psychic, and they get to another one. So we're going to shield because we've got the energy on the Seed Bomb. At this point we can probably finish them off with Psychics, but if the Seed Bomb's gone through, which it has, I'm just going to let it, not take much energy. I'm hoping it's going to nibble them down a little bit, but I don't get a farm in off that. However, we've got a Swampert there, and we've got almost another Seed Bomb loaded, so bring the Seed Bomb out again. Now this will get their attention. It's got the last shield off them, that's okay. We're going to try for another one, but I don't think we'll make it in time. And they have just farmed us down, which is slightly unfortunate. However, we bring out the Venusaur, and we're just anticipating a Sludge Wave coming in here, which will hurt, but not too much. There we go, Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave is a bit of a awkward move, because it's quite expensive for the amount of damage it does. But we're going to Sludge Bomb the Venusaur they bring in, and there we go. I'm going to quickly switch to the Golem. No, we're not. We would have switched to the Golem to try and catch the move, because we want to preserve the Venusaur for the Swampert in the back. However, now we're left trying to just farm down this Venusaur and hope we can get to the Wild Charge first, and we don't. So this is going to take us out. Good game to my opponent. I'm not actually sure the Wild Charge would work there, because it does single resist electric damage, but Wild Charge does hit very hard. So, I mean, if you've ever had it land on a Swampert before, you'll know it does actually quite a big chunk. So, next up, Alolan leads into Ampharos. Well, that's a shocking matchup. You can see these two quite a bit of, well, potential in their face-off, I think. So, there we go. We'll throw the Rock Blasts whilst we're resisting their electric damage. We are anticipating they've got Focus Blast on here, because I've been Focus Blasted far too many times by Ampharos, so we're going for a switch into Venusaur, which also resists electric. This baits out the Charizard, which is exactly what we want to do with this team. We get the Fire type out of the way, because then we can eat it with the Golem, farm it for energy, and then hopefully sweep with the Exeggcutor in the back. So we're just going to let the Venusaur go down, just like that. They Dragon Claw us, which perhaps a misplay on their part. I mean, that's probably a good call, but I think they perhaps didn't anticipate we were just going to let it die. However, it does mean we get to another Sludge Bomb, and we win the matchup with a Charizard, so that's actually quite a shocker. Ampharos comes out, and we're going to get to a Frenzy Plant. We're still not going to shield here, because, well, we don't need to. And it's going to take us out anyway. So, there we go. Nibble away. Again, we are still anticipating a Focus Blast, so we switch into Exeggcutor, because we know we resist both electric and fighting. There we go, Kabonk, not too terrifying. Would have utterly wrecked the Golem if we'd switched that in. However, now we've got a Gallade in the back, and as you know from before, this is quite a good matchup for us. We hit neutral, they get resisted. However, our health is low, so we can't afford to have a Leaf Blade land just yet. So we're just going to nibble away, get to the double Seed Bomb, and throw them back to back. And hopefully this will either finish them off, or, well, yeah, there we go. So we've got two ready, so this will finish them off, and then we've got, there we go. No, not quite actually. So actually this could have hurt, because if we had a close combat loaded, this would have taken us out. But we do still have the shield, so goodbye Gallade. And next up we're leading into Togekiss. So this is another great lead for us. Flying type does not like the electric, so we're just going to do a bit of farming. Going to build up some Rock Blasts and overcharge a bit further. I was actually sort of hoping they might throw their move before that, but this is okay this way anyway. So we're just going to throw the Rock Blast straight away, and then go for another one, but they get their move in first, so we shield it, because we don't really want to waste that Rock Blast. And it's an Ancient Power, throwing rocks at the rock. A bit of a rock concert going on. Right, there's the Rock Blast going through, taking out Togekiss. We've got a bit of an energy lead. Swampert's there, and we don't quite make it to the move. Swampert does take us apart very fast, but that's okay, because we've got grass types. We're bringing out the Exeggcutor, because we are anticipating the Swampert is going to, well, first of all, probably bait us with Hydro Cannon, and then maybe Sludge Wave us. But we're going to go into the Seed Bomb first, and just hopefully take that out. Or get the shield, either's good. They do block it, which is sensible, so we switch to Venusaur, anticipating an incoming Sludge Wave here, because Venusaur can resist it a bit better. However, this must be one of the few Swamperts I've run into that actually had Earthquake, and that hurt more on Venusaur, so bad call on my part. But still, we've got to the Sludge Bomb first, and we're going to throw that at their Venusaur. Their Venusaur in the back is going to be vulnerable to our Psychic damage, so it's really not going to like it when the Exeggcutor comes back out for round 2. However, they are going to get to their Sludge Bomb first. That's okay. The threat from Venusaur is such that they can't really afford to farm us and get the energy lead they need in order to take out the Psychic before it takes them down. But we are thinking they might get to a Sludge Bomb here, and there we go. One hit. Ouch. Pretty squishy, that one. Not quite as bad as Gallade, but still pretty squishy. So, Golem leads into a Venusaur again. Also a bad lead, because obviously resists the electric and hits is super effective. So we quickly switch to Exeggcutor and start farming for energy. They can't afford to ignore our Psychics, but as we found out, Sludge Bomb really hurts, so we're going to shield. And we're just going to carry on again, and out comes the Charizard. So, yet again, our bait has worked successfully. We've brought out a Charizard to come and play, And now we're just going to throw a Psychic at it, and they're going to block, which is sensible on their part. Psychic would have hurt it quite a bit. We're just not going to shield here because we want to align it with the Golem. And there we go. Alolan Golem, Aloha, comes out to play, farms down a little bit. We're just going to not shield here because even if it's a Blast Burn, well, there we go, Blast Burn, lovely, thank you, do it for the camera. Blast Burn doesn't hurt us enough, so we can farm it down, and they've got a Machamp in the back. Now, Machamp is bad news for us, however we do have 2 Rock Blast loaded, and this is a Shadow Machamp, so it's not all that tough, and we're going to switch out quickly to Venusaur, which resists the fighting damage, doesn't resist the Rock Slides. We'll see how much that does, I think. There we go, quite a big chunk as you can see. However, they've got no shields left, so we're just going to overfarm just a little bit because that energy lead might be important later. It's always a good practice if you can afford to sneak in an extra couple of moves after, if you're going to finish something off, just to get a bit more energy, because it means now we get to the Sludge Bomb before they do, and that will hopefully finish this match off. There we go, so they can't really afford to farm us very easily. We're just going to nibble away at them, so they're going to have to throw, and we've got a shield, so it's a good game really at this point. So we're just going to peck them down with the... finish off with a Frenzy Plant. May as well. Big finish, eh? There we go. So, that's our matches for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like my little troll team. It's a bit of fun. It seems to work quite well. It seems to have the same sort of dynamic as the classic Bastiodon, Victory Bell, and whatever else you've got with the Razor Leaf, in that you bait out things and then kill it with a Rock type. It doesn't work all the time. Obviously, I've lost a few, but let me know if you try this out and get along well with it, or if you just crash and burn. I'm interested. Thanks. Have a good day.